This is a public service announcement.
When I was a kid, I think most people who are old like me, some of you kids won't remember this, but I mean, you always had an art teacher and a music teacher. You could be in the poorest school district in the world. It's like everybody had access to art. And the reason is because people understood, even though they hadn't done the scientific research back then, we have done now, that children who learn music actually do better in math. Kids whose imaginations are sparked by the arts are more engaged in school. So these things aren't just extras, they are part of a well-rounded education.
So the number one reason to teach music in schools is there are a lot of students for whom that's the pathway to opening them up to the idea of learning in the first place. So when you practice an instrument every day, it gives you discipline. When you play in an ensemble, you learn to work with other people. When you learn to read music, you're learning a new language, and every language you learn makes the next one you learn easier.
Music education is a vital thing to do in the classroom. It creates community, it gives children a sense of coming up with their own ideas and being creative, and it allows children to have their own voice and opinion.
If you're a great student today in an American inner city school, if you do really well on SAT kind of tests, you're going to get plucked out of that system and you're going to go to Harvard or Stanford or Yale and you're going to be fine. If you're not, then the system has become so focused on high stakes testing and on academic achievement that there's not much left for you. And many of the people I know who've been the most successful entrepreneurs or in other parts of their lives weren't great students, but they were great athletes or they were great musicians. And athletics and music have been the two things that kept people who hated school willing to come to show up and at least finish.
One of Aristotle's ideas of art was that there is a major art and there's a minor art, and there's these whole hierarchies of things. Let's say music is an art. Then you got the art of making tone, the art of timbre, the art of dynamics, the art of the language itself. And it kind of roots to this huge hierarchy of things. And once we kind of understand that all arts in some way are created together and that they kind of link to each other, then everything else kind of starts formulating this whole circle. So we start connecting things that are not musical to our musical things because we are aware of the art of things.
Came from my mother and father.
As you saw earlier, President Obama was giving a speech, and he stated that music students typically and statistically do better in math. Now, I would think that didn't need a study because it's obvious. It's just there. It's just ingrained in our brains. We just know. Take a bar of 4, for example. 1 quarter note is 1/4 of the bar. It's 1 out of 4 beats. The bar. It's really the simplest concept, but people may struggle with it because they don't have music. It's not ingrained in their brains. If music education were to be taken out of schools, it would just be simply awful. Because you'd first see a decline in grades because there would be no more music students because you can't be a music student with no music program. In this next video of Jack Black in the movie School of Rock, you see him teaching a math lesson with music, with his guitar. He's making a song out of the times tables. And he's walking around the classroom, he's acknowledging each student. It's critical pedagogy. He's relating to their world.
Math is a wonderful thing. Math is a really cool thing. So get off your act, let's do some math. Math, 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 math. 3 minus 4 is...
-1.
That's right. And 6 times a billion is...
6 billion?
Nailed it. And 54 is a 45 more. Then what is the answer, Marta?
9.
No, it's 8.
No, it's 9.
Yes, I was testing you. It's 9. And that's a magic number.
The good thing about music is that we're always forced to make decisions. So whenever we make a decision, we start kind of formulating these ideas and opinions, and that kind of fosters into this creative aspect of your own opinion. So it's a kind of an aesthetic language, and music literacy is a good thing because it adds a different dimension and component to music itself, but it's not necessary. Honor my world!